So the House Oversight Committee has released a report. Now, they are claiming, without really any evidence, that Joe Biden was diminished and that his aides were using the auto pen. Now, what is an auto pen? It's effectively a device where a stylus will trace a signature and then it will be connected to an arm, and basically as it goes across the signature with the stylus, it will recreate the signature onto a piece of paper. Now, they have been trying to claim for years now that Joe Biden was diminished, and they've been saying ever since Donald Trump was in office that everything Joe Biden signed was signed with an auto pen and that it should all be considered null and void. Here's the problem. The auto pen has been in use for about 20 years now, at least, and has been deemed legal. So that's not a thing. And there's no evidence that Joe Biden was actually diminished. But they're trying to go after Joe Biden and his pardons, specifically the ones that he did on his way out the door in the last day or two, where he pardoned various members of the House Select Committee, where he pardoned Hunter Biden ahead of him leaving office. Why? Not because he necessarily even wanted to, but because he felt he had to, because this administration would go after them and want to charge them. And now House Republicans are trying to come up with a way to undo those pardons. But there's been no precedent for ever undoing a presidential pardon once it's been granted. If they come up with this way of doing it, they don't realize, much with a lot of things, when Donald Trump is gone, that the pardons Donald Trump has issued could be somehow undone, especially if they could prove he is in diminished capacity. And, well, there is tons of evidence of Donald Trump being in diminished capacity. I've done numerous videos about how he slurs his speech, how he doesn't know where he's at, appears to be dealing with cognitive issues. And if they can somehow find a way to undo Biden's pardons, and anything Biden has signed or that was signed for Joe Biden at his direction with the auto pen, that would mean they could do the same thing to Donald Trump. So they're not looking past the end of their nose. They just want to win against Joe Biden so they can turn around and go after people Donald Trump wants to go after. I think this is ultimately going to turn out to be nothing. If they attempt to overturn these pardons, it's going to end up in court. And I don't even know if this Supreme Court would be willing to overturn any sort of deal where they try to go against presidential pardons by a previous president. But we'll have to see how it plays out. But they're reaching for this one because they need a win, and this is the best they've got.